Hello, I'm Colton Hagstrom, and this is my presentation for my final paper for the World of Ideas class. And the title of my final paper is What Does It Mean to Be Human? So I felt like the goal of this class was really to break down what it meant to be human and what differentiates humans from animals and other objects, and really to break down the human condition. So I thought it was too complex to really break down into one thing, that what means to be human. So I really broke it down into three. The first thing that I think differentiates humans from everything else is the ability to have emotions, and then also the ability to act upon those emotions. I'm talking emotions like sympathy, empathy, believing in stuff, and love. And those are just some of the emotions that I think play a huge role in being a person. My second thought on the biggest difference between humans and everything else is the ability to communicate not only with the present time, but also with the past and with the future. I think this is the biggest thing that separates us from animals, because animals are definitely capable of having emotions. And then the final thing that I think separates humans from really everything else is our ability to change the environment around us. I think this is one of the biggest things, and it's not for the better. I'm going to go into these three things in detail by using a movie from class and two readings from class, and my outside source is actually a video game. So I'm going to go into detail using Wall-E, Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man, a Sand County Almanac, and the video game Fall. So the movie Wall-E, I really feel like it shows off the first part about emotions well in robots, and that other things are able to go through these human condition-esque ideas, even if they're not humans. The robots, such as Wall-E and Eve, they fall in love with each other. But I'm not only talking about Wall-E and Eve. If you saw the captain of the ship actually is able to show a little bit of anger, and then also the Sweepy Broom guys are able to show empathy for Wall-E and for Eve when Wall-E is getting crushed by the plant thing that sends the ship back to land. Wall-E is getting crushed by that, and you can see that the other robots really felt bad for not only Wall-E but also for Eve as she was going through that thing. The second part of my argument is Wall-E. It really takes a big look at communication with I feel like the settlers of Axiom really lost their communication with the past, and they were so engulfed with these chairs and with these screens that the settlers I feel like are actually less human than the robots for a large part, because they're not really delving into this communication. I feel like a big part of this is they're so disconnected from where they first started from. Here I have a little quote from the movie. Oh, I see the ship's log today is showing that today is the 700th anniversary of our 5-year cruise. Well, I'm sure our forefathers would be proud to know that 700 years later, we'd be doing the exact same thing they were doing. And that was the captain and Wall-E. And I really feel like that shows how little they've accomplished. And this is mainly due to a lack of communication in the past. And that's really to do with the screens that are in front of their face. They're not looking around. They're not trying to improve. And not only did I mention that communication with the past is a key element of being human, I feel like communication with the future is another key element. And if you watch the movie, they're not really communicating. Even the captain struggles reading, and I feel like there's no goal for their society, so they're not communicating with the future and talking to the people like that are going to come after them, and stuff that they should do in order to improve society and everything like that. And I feel like the last part, and probably the part that's most evident in Wall-E, in that part of the human condition, is our people's ability to change environment. I feel like Wall-E, it takes place in a garbage dystopia that really that people have ruined. But then again, I've made the point that the robots are more human in that movie than the people are. And if you think about it, the people on the ship Axiom themselves have done nothing to contribute to that garbage dystopia that they are living on. And then next we're going to talk about Ralph Ellison's The Invisible Man. In that book, he I feel like he goes through a time where he's not communicating with others, and that really causes him to lose himself as a human. And this loss of communication, I feel like since he has no way to talk to other people, this disjoints him with the rest of the people, and that's one of those things that causes him to, I feel, lash out and hurt people. And then the last thing, in The Invisible Man, it's definitely evident that he's able to still go through the ability to change his environment. If you think about how he goes into the basement and he's using all those lights, he's actually using the environment to enact his emotions against the electrical company. He hates the electrical company, and he uses his environment to actually get back at them. The last book I'm going to take a look at is the Sand County Almanac. I really want to delve into this one because I think this is, I said it in my intro, I think it's really true that a human's ability to change the environment is one of the biggest things that differentiates us from other animals. Really, the only other animal that you can think about that super changes the environment is a beaver, but they don't nearly change it to the extent that humans do. And I feel like the Sand County Almanac is a good way to show how important it is because the humans play such a big role in changing the environment to really protect the environment and act like the environment itself is an individual because it is so important in our life. And then my outside source I looked at was the video game Fallout 4. In the video game Fallout 4, there are two fighting factions, the Institute and the Railroad. The Institute actually makes these thing called synths, which is a shortened term for synthetic human. And in that game, so the Institute is feeling like the synths are their property, but the synths end up developing behaviors, emotions, all these human-like things, and they actually want to escape the Institute. So they escape the Institute, and the Railroad is a group. It's reference to the Underground Railroad, and this is a group of people that feel like the synths should have rights, and that you should be able to, if you in your mind want to escape the place, you should have the right to escape the place. And the Railroad is one of these things, this place that helps these synthetic humans escape, even though they're not technically humans, anatomy-wise. I think with the ability to have the brain function, with the ability to change their environment around them, and with the ability to both communicate with the past, try and set up something to escape, and communicate with the future, I think you could definitely make the case that they are human and they should have human rights, and that's one thing that this class really opened up my eyes to. So like I said, I think there's three key parts to being to the human condition, and that is the human's ability to change the environment around them, the human's ability to have emotions and enact on those emotions, and lastly, humans' ability, or not even humans, but your ability to communicate with not only the past, but the present and the future. Thank you.